attribution. I've mentioned this a couple of times. And this is something where greater minds than mine have given up, because attribution is a big black hole. All right? If someone does a search for me and they come from Google, an organic search, and they go to my landing page and they convert, well, that's easy. One source, one conversion, I can attribute that to SEO organic search. However, if they come in through organic search, they leave, and they come in the next day on a retargeting ad, which gets the credit. It gets real fun when there's multiple touches, when there is SEO, when there's retargeting, a direct visit, and then a social visit. If there are 4 touch points from different channels leading to a conversion, who gets the attribution? In Google Analytics, the last one. So now, the nice thing is you can go into Google Analytics and you can change this. You can make a different model. The first thing, though, is understanding the model. The first one is a first interaction model. This means that my first touch gets all the credit. So if my first touch is paid, but they don't convert until later, now, I don't like that model. Same reason I don't like the last touch. It doesn't properly give credit to the other channels that contributed. Then there's the last interaction method, the one we just talked about, and this is where your analytics typically all default to. Then there is the linear interaction method, where I equally give equal share or equal attribution to every channel that contributed. Then there is the time decay interaction method. And what this does is it starts with, over time, the first touch decays, and the second touch, and it builds up to the last one being, and so that's how you disperse your percentages. There is also the position-based interaction method. You know what you should use? What works for you? There is not one interaction attribution model that works for everybody. None at all. Especially when you've got a long 12 to 2-year buying cycle. What I'm doing on these interaction models, what I recommend, utilizing, well, what generates engagement? If something causes someone to engage with the website by views, by video views, by downloads, that gets a higher percentage rate. So if you look at attribution, this is what you'll see in Google. It will show you a little Venn diagram of organic direct referral and anything else you got going on. What this means is organic search accounts for 66% of conversions, but according to the diagram, most of those are single visit conversions or search only conversions, meaning there was no other channel involved. So it will affect some of your numbers. Some will be affected a little more than others. This is what Google allows you to do. In conversions, there is a model comparison tool under attribution, and you can play around with this. And you can compare, well, if I measure by last interaction versus linear interaction versus first interaction, how will that change everything? Sometimes you may see drastic changes. Most of the time, I don't see anything drastic enough that it's really going to change a lot of behavior from what I'm doing. All right, action. It's not about data, it's about the person. Like I said before, it's not about how much data you have, it's about the person you have. Understanding bounce rate. If I'm going to, and really this is the thing, if you go in with a goal, specific, time-based, measurable, attainable, you know how to get the content that you need, the information you need to attain that goal. If you go to your analytics with the goal of, you know what, I want to improve my conversion pages. I want to improve my landing pages. How do I do that? Bounce rate. Everything in red is a bounce rate that's below average or above average. Everything in green is a bounce rate that is below average. And yellow is what's interesting because it doesn't fit. And basically what this tells me is anything that's got a bounce rate in the 90% or higher has less than a 0.3% conversion rate. This helps you define which content is leading people towards conversion and which content is helping people leave your site more effectively. Same thing here with shopping. Look, and this is with your paid search campaigns. I'm looking at what I'm driving by paid search and looking at bounce rate, because these are people that I'm driving to product pages from paid search, and if they bounce, I lost money. I paid for them to come to my site and they left. So I'm going to look at the pages that have high bounce rates, and what you'll see is there's a corresponding drop in conversion rate. This one here tells me that the remarketing campaign actually needs some work, because the average bounce rate for the entire paid search campaign is 60%. The remarketing campaign has a bounce rate of 92%. What? Are you kidding me? And 0% conversion rate. So that's what helps you recognize right away when you get into these bounce rates and looking at the behavior, the pages that are giving you a problem. And so if I'm going to look at how do I increase leads for my product pages, that's where I'm going to look and see, well, what's the performance of the product pages right now. Okay, there's a report here that can help you find this a little better, and that's these tools up here. If you've ever wondered what those are for, what I click on is this little staggered bar report up here, right there, and it'll give me columns. And what I want to compare is, here's my landing pages, here are my sessions, okay, all my sessions, and then I use the drop down and I want to compare bounce rate. And now this is a little easier to see. So now I can look at every page of my site and I can see the amount of sessions. Now, this is so cool because the longer the red bar, it means the more it contributes to a bounce rate compared to all the other pages of my website. If it's green, it means it contributes to people staying on the website longer. So if I look at this, I don't have to think and look at numbers. Then I also want to look at conversion rates by channel. This is one of the biggest reports. Like I said, I live on this report by channel. What are my conversion rates by channel? How do I measure that? This is typically what I'll come to a meeting with if I have to report analytics to anybody, is that report, but I will also pop in, so I'll break down that per visit value. What that means is from all my organic search visitors, here's the revenue, and here is per visit. That means each of these 150,000 visitors, they're worth $1.30 each. These are numbers a CEO can understand.